on the next Cool Rob Show. Special guest, First Lady of the NWO Wrestling, Chantiese, stops by the Cool Rob Show to talk to Cool Rob about NWO Wrestling. Chantiese and Cool Rob lived some of the greatest moments in the NWO history. Chantiese opens up to Cool Rob about the fall of the NWO. Chantiese also shares information about her hit podcast, Talk of Champions. Coming up next on Season 4, Episode 1 of The Cool Rob Show.
Welcome back. Hey, Cool Rob. I'm cooler than cool, cooler than the most, cooler than the other side of the pillow. Welcome back to another episode of the Cool Rob Show, live from the bullpen, y'all. Thank y'all so much for the love and support that y'all showing me. I always want to say that. I really appreciate all the love and support. Keep it coming, y'all. I really appreciate it. Shout out to Movie Hood TV. Please subscribe to the channel. Them boys help me out, man. Them dudes are really some good people, man. So please go show them some love on their channel. Don't forget to subscribe to Cool Rob TV, all caps. Please leave comments, like, dislike. We're always looking for new people to come on the show. We got a special show, y'all. I'm really excited, man. You see this beautiful lady right here. I'm going to introduce her in a minute after I get all this out. We get ready to talk about some NWO wrestling. Let me show y'all my shirt. You know what I'm saying? You see her shirt? So, without further ado, let me introduce her. Chantiese, what's up?
Hi, everyone. Hello, NWOites.
Oh, man, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity, man. I thank you, man. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Man, cool. Let me ask you something. So, where you at? Because I'm in Hyattsville, Maryland. Where you at?
I am in the Bronx, New York.
Oh, you're in the Bronx. Shout out to the NY. NY.
Yeah. That's where I'm from. That's where I hail from.
One thing you could tell us about the Bronx, what would that be?
Ooh, it's not as bad as people think it is.
Okay.
Like they think you're out here like a final fight. And on every corner you're going to fight someone. And it's not that bad.
That's what's up. You know, I visited New York one time a few years back. I always wanted to go back. I ain't really get a chance to really go out, like, you know, to a couple of spots here and there. But, you know, I was out there, though.
You know what? When you visit New York, it's harder if you don't have someone from New York. Like, oh, we could just go here and get this for this. You end up spending too much money and doing a bunch of nothing.
Well, I'll be back, NY. Shout out to the NY. Are you a Knicks fan?
I'm a home team fan, so whatever home team it is, sure.
Okay, cool. Them Knicks got come on, Knicks, let's get it together. So
I'm more of a Yankee than anything because, again, Bronx Bombers. I support the Bronx. I am the Bronx, you know? Those type of things.
I'm a Yankees fan, too, to be honest with you.
Yeah. It's in the Bronx. How can you hate them?
Right. I love the Yanks, y'all. So thank you so much again for coming on. But I do got a couple questions. I always, when people come on, new people come on the show, I give, you know, just ask you a couple questions, you know, kind of warm you up.
Definitely.
So the first question, you know, how's your day going so far?
Long. This has been a long week. I think I've did something every day this week. Whether it was an Instagram live or recording or this or that, I did something every day this week. So save the best for last, NWO.
Oh, yeah, NWO. Trust me. Yeah, I love the NWO. We about to get into it. Y'all got a fun show for y'all. So, you know, the day is going well. So, Chantiese, you can tell myself, me, and the viewers 3 things about Chantiese that we would know about. What would that be?
3 things about me. See, that's hard because I can go anywhere. But I, you know what? Let me start with this. I'm a Vince Russo girl. For wrestling fans, a lot of people don't understand that. I've been a Vince Russo girl since I was 9. So, yeah, that'd be good for people to know. I can't really give you 3 things. My favorite members of the NWO outside of Nash and Hall is Buff and Steiner. I think when everything was going crazy with the NWO, Buff and Steiner kind of saved it for us.
Right.
And, three things. I'm keeping it wrestling related. I can't stand the current products.
Okay.
I can't. And if you know three things about me, I like green. My favorite food is pizza. And I like to watch people make soap.
That's good. All that was some great information. But something you said to me that stuck out. Vince Russo.
Yes.
So, real quickly, because we can talk about this, because if you ask anyone in the wrestling industry and all the wrestling fans out here, Vince Russo is the reason why WCW is out of business. But you say you are a Vince Russo fan. Why?
It's funny because I before we came live, I told you I did my own show, Talk of Champions. We literally talked about the reason WCW died. Not Vince Russo at all. The Time Warner merger was signed January 10th, 2000. Vince Russo came October 19th, 1990. I'm not October 19th. Sorry, I'm giving my mother's birthday. Where am I going? You can tell I'm kind of sleepy. But he came in October 1999.
Okay.
So this deal was already in the workings. The deal was signed in January 2000. This was something that was happening before Russo was even thought of, before Russo was even brought in. This was something that was being put together. The final nail in the deathbed was that deal between AOL and Time Warner.
Right.
The executives at Time Warner, the executives at Turner, and the executives at AOL didn't want anything to do with wrestling.
Right.
The only person on TNT that wanted anything to do with wrestling was Ted Turner himself. The AOL merger left him with under 50% of a say-so in his company. So when they said no more wrestler, when Jamie Kellner canceled wrestling, nothing nobody could do about it. So that merger where everybody wanted wrestling out was already in place before the damage had been done. It happened before David Arquette. It happened before Russo became champion. It happened before the ratings dropped off because of Russo.
Right.
The ratings dropped off and then Russo brought them back up a bit. So that's something I like to deflect. But I like Vince Russo. I don't know. I just always liked him as a kid. You know, you're a 9-year-old, you know, dick jokes and things like that make you laugh and make you giggle. And he was just like super New York. He'll go into like places and it'll be like, well, this kind of reminds me of New York, but this isn't New York. This town sucks. And things like that makes me laugh and giggle. And then growing up, I've always liked him. And then I had actual personal interactions with him, like maybe 2 or 3 that just, it showed me he was nothing but kindness.
Right.
So I'm just a Vince Russo girl through and through. Been that way since I was a kid. It's very few things that may make me change that.
Well, you know what? That was it. I'm amazed to have a beautiful woman sitting here talking wrestling, NWO wrestling at that. So a partnership in the making. I definitely want to talk to you more about Vince Russo, WCW, because people that know me know I was the WCW fan in the group. Everybody was WWF at the time, but I was the one WCW fan, and I rocked it, and I represented all the way to that final day. So I definitely want to talk.
Me too.
All right, so we definitely can do that. So let's do that. All right, so all the viewers, get ready to talk about NWO wrestling, y'all. And in 1996, Bash at the Beach, the wrestling industry changed forever. So without further ado, here's our NWO episode of the Cool Rob Show. And as you get ready to see the screen behind me, as me and Chantiese talking about NWO, I'm going to play some classic NWO memories. All right, so hopefully I enjoy that. Chantiese, are you ready? Because I'm ready to get this started. You ready?
Ready when you are.
All right, here we go. Number 1, Chantiese.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go. We move down just a little bit. All right, here we go. First time you saw the NWO. Can you tell us about that?
The first time I saw them, so it's foggy. I remember Razor coming because my brother would watch it. So when this kind of started, this is when I kind of started getting into it as a kid. So I was kind of there from the beginning. I do not remember my first time seeing them together as a whole, but I do remember the throwing the Ray into the bus. Mm-hmm. I do remember seeing that. I do remember seeing vividly, like, After the first pay-per-view, they wrestled as a team. So that would be, what was after that? Was it
the year?
I'm trying to remember the next pay-per-view. And this is, I did the WCW show, but I'm like going through brain farts. I'm tired. Was it War Games after Bash at the Beach? It was War Games, right?
In my mind, I was thinking Hog Wild.
It probably was Hog Wild. I think you're right. I remember the Nitro after Hog Wild. So it's like I was there for the beginning, but bits and pieces. I can't pin down the first thing I seen.
Okay. So the answer to that question for me is the night that Scott Hall, aka Razor Ramon, showed up. I was watching that night when he showed up in the jean jacket outfit. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely remember that. But all right, so we're moving on. Like I said, I'm gonna warm you up until we get to the good questions. You ready?
Okay.
All right. So I guess it's kind of the same question I'm gonna ask it anyway. When did you become? Because you saw the NWO, for the first time, but when did you become a fan of the NWO?
I was a fan of Hall and Nash since they were together. So immediately, soon as I saw these guys, I loved them. Okay. I loved them together. So Hogan, maybe not. I was never a Hogan girl. That's why everybody looks at me like I'm crazy. But my first exposure to wrestling was WWF. And since Hogan kind of jilted them, that's when you got the Hulkster promos and then the Nacho Man, and you got Vince Russo in the War Room and those bashing them things. So I was like, oh, those guys is old. Get those old guys out of here. Why is Hogan trying to be cool? I always thought that Hogan, he was just trying to be down with the cool guys. Right. So I always like isolate the outsiders and like, oh, whatever, Hogan's there. So like it was always a visual. I always loved them.
So for me, like I said, so when even with the night that Hogan joined the NWO, at first I was just kind of shocked, like I didn't know what to do, and so I think I became a fan. It's funny I'm getting ready to say this. When I first heard the first NWO commercial, that announcement has been paid for by the New World Order. That right there, from that point, I became a fan.
Those promos, and it was more the t-shirt promos. Right. The t-shirt promos is burned in my head. It was like, it's only $20. Yeah. So it was like, buy 20,000 of them or something like that. And it was just saying like Nash, saying a bunch of Nash things. Right. And those are the things that stick out to me. It's always Hall and Nash, and then Hogan was there talking Hogan language.
Okay, next. Tell us your fondest memory in the NWO history, that one moment you could think of when it comes to the NWO.
One moment I could think of that comes to NWO. Whew. It is the whole big fight on the outside that I mentioned where they threw Ray like a dart.
Oh yeah, into the trailer, yeah.
Yeah, that, and also when they was coming down and like the security came and the security got their hands on guns and was like making it seem like these guys are really dangerous. Right. Those moments is like when it was just complete chaos. Before it got too much. Mm-hmm. Right, when he was like, what are they doing still? So those moments are the moments I love the most. The very early moments of NWO.
Right. Same thing for me, but if I had to pinpoint one particular moment, it was the night that Hogan showed up. I was watching the Bash at the Beach. I literally ordered the pay-per-view because I wanted to see who the third person was going to be. I did not think or know that Hogan was going to be the person. WCW did a good job of how they build that match and book that match. So when Hogan came walking down,
WCW didn't think or know Hogan was going to be the man.
right. People don't know. Actually, the person that was supposed to be the third person for the NWO actually was Sting. People don't know. Mm-hmm. So that's some information you learned on the Cool Rob show. Special guest Chantiese, y'all. But yeah,
Hogan. I think the week before the pay-per-view, Hogan had like flew Bischoff out. Right. To like Thunder in Paradise set. Mm-hmm. It was like, okay, you know who's going to be a third guy yet? Me. After like kicking Bischoff out of his dressing room for Bischoff saying, well, maybe you should go help. Right. So he kind of swerved that on him very last minute.
Got your information right. That's exactly what happened. So yeah, the night of NWO, Hogan showed up and he walked down the ramp. I was watching the pay-per-view, and I remember when the camera cut to a different angle and the fans was looking up, looking down the ramp because somebody was walking down. And as soon as they shot over to that camera angle, Hogan was walking down. And that was it. Moving on. Moving on. All right. I thought this would be a fun question. Tell us that one moment or one match, whatever it is, something you want to forget in the NWO memory, NWO history, that one match or that one moment.
Sting and Hogan.
Okay. Why you say that?
That's really, really what killed everything. It was getting out of hand.
Yeah.
But the way that match ended kind of killed. It killed Sting. It killed the NWO. It kind of killed WCW's momentum. And they was just like stumbling around after that.
Okay, now elaborate more on that. I like that, but elaborate more, if you could.
The way the match ended, it was very, very foolish of them to allow that smosh to happen. Bret Hart should have had nothing to do with it.
Right.
Bret Hart should have had nothing to do with it.
Right.
Bret Hart, it shouldn't have been a fast count. They apparently, Nick Patrick was told multiple different things. He was told to either do a fast count, then he was told to count regular, then he was told plans change. So Nick Patrick was told multiple different things, so he didn't know what to do, so he just counted regular. Hogan was 9 times out of 10 one of the people who told him to do something different. And because it was a situation where Hogan felt I had to be the guy, when it was clearly Sting that was the guy.
Right.
And even if any good businessman knows we make the fans happy, we make more money.
Right.
But it wasn't about that. It was about greed and nonsense. So we got a nonsense ending, which killed 3 people's pushes because it killed Bret before Bret even did anything. So now Bret looked like a dork.
Right.
Like, what are you resetting? It was a regular count.
That's some good information right there, Chantiese.
So it was just fumbled. It was just fumbled. I wish that they didn't fumble it because that little thing they did fumbled so much. Like a lot of people say, well, Vince Russo killed WCW. No. It started at Starcard 97.
On the Cool Rob Show, y'all, the first lady of the NWO. I said that in the beginning, y'all. It's the first lady. I would say that one memory that I always want to forget is the Goldberg night. I mean, even though it was an action-packed night, you know, and Goldberg won the belt. You know, being an NWO fan, how I was at the time, I didn't want to see Hogan lose the belt. So that's my.
What I don't like about that, I don't mind the Hogan. That's one of the things that they did right. The pieces of business they did right.
Right.
Goldberg was the man at that point. There was no denying it. He's beaten everyone else. The only way to go is kind of get him here.
Right.
I didn't like that they had to go through Scott Hall.
Yeah.
To do that.
Right.
It was more of a like him being like the lamb, because they didn't have to go through Scott Hall. They could have sent him through the Giant.
Right. They could have saved the match for a pay-per-view event too.
I get why they did that, but again, just like we were talking about with Starrcade, they didn't care about pay-per-views.
Right. They was chasing ratings.
If they wasn't beating Raw, it didn't matter.
Exactly. Man, you on your game today, Chantiese. I love it. All right, so I got another question right here. Let me see how you're going to answer this one. So, if you could pick one wrestler, back in the day, or even currently right now, in either WWE, WCW, AEW, right? Because you know about AEW, or I even throw in NXT. One wrestler that you would like to see in the NWO, who would it be?
97 Shawn Michaels in the original NWO.
Now tell me why.
97 Shawn Michaels in the original NWO is one and the same. It's one and the same. And by the time they try to like forload him into the WWE NWO, which we tried to forget,
right?
He wasn't the same person.
I got you.
If WCW was able to get Shawn Michaels in 97 and put him in the NWO, I almost guarantee you there'll be no WWF going forth.
Now that you said that, that would have been something to see the Heartbreak Kid and NWO.
This is a Year Zero My Hero promo, Shawn Michaels. This is a Sunny Days promo, Shawn Michaels. They had very little rules in the original NWO. That didn't come until like 98. So imagine Shawn Michaels getting paid a bunch of money to do whatever the hell he wanted.
That'd have been something nice right there. I see.
Yeah. But it's like I want to say that, but then again, we have Hogan.
Well, if I had to pick a wrestler, I thought this would be a good one right here. I thought you'd like this. If I had to pick one wrestler, it'll be a today's wrestler.
Who?
Roman Reigns.
I can see why you say that.
Right? See, you see
I can see why you say. I understand it more on the look.
Right. Right.
And when he was in the Shield, he had the attitude.
Okay.
So I can understand why you say Roman. Roman looks like he would fit.
So that's my pick, y'all. Roman Reigns. All right. I thought this would be a good one for you, Chantiese. Here we go. First lady of NWO. If you could get rid of one NWO member, who would it be? Who are you kicking out the NWO?
I can give you 5.
Give me 5.
Virgil.
Oh, come on now, Vincent.
Vincent gotta go. It was like it embarrassed us.
Okay.
And he's embarrassing.
All
like,
right.
come on. They're giving you this and you just doing nothing. I think it was like it's just a joke and he made it a joke. The Giant.
That's a giant on the screen right there. Why the Giant?
He was nasty. I'm talking about second run NWO. Okay. He was smoking cigarettes to the ring and wearing Timbs and trying to beat Kevin Nash.
I got you. I never saw that, but I never thought that. But that's good analogy.
He was trying to be He was trying to be Baby Nash. It didn't work for him.
3 more.
Especially when you had Kevin Nash making fun of him. Right.
All right, you got 3 more.
3 more. Ooh.
Then 5, so 3 more.
I know. I'm just trying to see which ones are more important. The funny thing is I wouldn't get rid of the Disciple.
Oh, Disciple of Apocalypse.
I wouldn't get rid of him. Because that was his best gimmick.
Right.
And he looked good as hell.
Do you remember his saying?
No.
Good.
I'm drawing blanks.
I remember. Here we go. The Disciple of Apocalypse. I put a stop to your world by the end of the line.
You know, I wouldn't remember that. Like I said, I'm drawing brain farts because it was just like I said, I did something every day this week, so it's a lot of mumble jumble in my head for everything that I did. So right. I'm not gonna remember that. But I would so I did Virgil, I did the Giant. I'm not gonna do Scott Norton because then we wouldn't have Vicious and Delicious.
Right.
You need him. You need him to be the part of Vicious and Delicious.
Right.
Oh, geez. Stevie Ray.
Oh, Steve, real quick. This is when they threw Ray, I believe, into the.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's the Ray.
Stevie Ray wouldn't be in.
Yeah.
And not because I don't like Stevie Ray. It's just because it made no sense.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I could do Stevie Ray too. Okay. 2 more.
Ooh. Oh, Big Bubba. Why?
Yeah, why?
And he wasn't an official member, but they had him black and white affiliated. But I wouldn't put Buff nowhere near I wouldn't put Brett nowhere near the NWO. He wouldn't be the liaison or whatever role he was playing. I wouldn't have Brett do that. Right. That was a waste of Brett.
Right. Ready for mine?
I was just about to ask you.
Ask me. So I could do it.
What 5 would you do away?
Oh, 5. So I had
5.
So you put me on the spot. Here we go. All right, so the first one, NWO Sting. I just never liked the NWO Sting angle.
I didn't like it, but it got over in Japan.
So this is the thing, though, right? I think this is. I'm gonna get to this question, so I'm gonna answer mine now before I ask you. This is a bonus question.
Mm-hmm.
I think the downfall of the NWO is when they start allowing any and everybody to be members. It should have been a specific group that would want to be the members of the NWO. It was just like anybody can join. That's when they got watered down.
Yeah.
Now I think about it and I go back and I really think about it. Sting should never join. He should have always stayed on the other side.
Yeah. But since they made the Wolfpack good guys, why wouldn't they have the ultimate good guy?
I feel your point, but then also you taking a Sting that at the time he built that angle up as being that dark person that's in the sky coming down the rafters. Now you turn him into this hip hop Sting. See what I'm saying?
But you know what? That's after 97 Starcade. After 97 Starcade, it was just like, well, what else are we gonna do with him?
See?
You see what I mean by what I mean when I say Starcade kind of messed up everything?
I'm loving this talk, Chantiese. Man, right, so you said 5, so I got 4 more. So I'm gonna go with Vincent. Even though I like Vincent, but I go with Vincent. Stevie Ray, so that's 3. If I had to go 2 more, I would say Mr. Perfect. I don't think Mr. Perfect should ever been no member.
Yeah.
And one more. Jeff Jarrett. And you know what, Chantiese? That's doing that part of the NWO. That's when I really stopped watching it. So I don't even really know the memories of that NWO.
No, you can't put Jeff. That's not fair. You got to pick over, man.
Okay, all right. One more for you. All right. Leave Jeff Jarrett in there, and I will get rid of Dusty Rhodes.
Yeah, see?
See?
You know what? I couldn't think of Dusty when I was doing mine because I would have definitely said Dusty.
And so, and that, I mean to cut you off, but that's what I meant when I just said about anybody joining NWO.
Now, you said that was the fall of the NWO? Was letting everybody join?
Yeah, I just think that it got watered down, you know what I mean?
It definitely did get watered down. I wouldn't really put that on the fall of the NWO being that. The fall of the NWO was put at Hogan. Because you couldn't go so far with Hogan being Hogan, right?
Right.
So what they did was just started, all right, well, let's just get a bunch of people that were cool with, you know? This guy's funny. He's in the NWO. Now, my ideal NWO will be Hogan, Hall, Nash,
Okay.
X-Pac,
Right.
Buff,
Right.
Rick, Macho Man. I'll keep the Wolfpack as that. Like, they're still split. But only thing is, I'll put Hall in the Wolfpack.
Okay.
And since you mentioned it, let's go to Black and Silver really fast, because I know you probably don't got no Black and Silver based questions. I didn't hate Black and Silver. What Black and Silver was to do was to get Brett where Brett needed to be. At that time, Vince Russo came and he was trying to lean less on the older guys. I mean, leaning less on the Stings, the Lugers, the Hogans, the Flair, the Macho. Lean less on those guys. So he was like giving them a little break. You're still gonna get paid. You're just not gonna be on TV. We're gonna make you special again.
Right.
So with that, we have Goldberg. Now Goldberg needs heels. They took his streak. They did the finger poke of doom. It was really nothing he had going on. So they were trying to build Goldberg up to be a real badass. He needed a real rivalry. So they had this setup where Buff wins the championship, and then Buff swerves everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's supposed to be going against Hall and Nash, doing Hall and Nash things. Out of nowhere, they're just helping him. He's the champion. Look, it's Russo behind you. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I always know it's Russo. But go ahead. They're doing outsiders things, and then they just like form a faction, and it was really built better. I'm not doing it any justice. It really built quite well. But the Thunder, after they like formed, after this is their first big outing, we fooled you. We're black and silver. We're this, we're that. Goldberg punches his hand through the limousine, almost like shatters a tendon. He just almost do that. He was like one punch away from like losing his arm,
right?
Because he wanted to make it look really good,
right?
This is also after he kicks Brett in the head.
Mm.
So now Goldberg's gone, Brett's gone, and Russo did this whole NWO thing to kind of like, you know, use the NWO for what its name, but also make Brett who he knows Brett could be. And then Brett's gone, Nash was gone for a little bit, and then Nash did the little booking things. And then like probably a week after the Nitro that Goldberg did that, Russo's gone. Because Russo was sent home January 2000.
Right.
Like end of December, he was sent home.
Right.
So he's gone. So now they have this thing. It's a booking committee. They're trying to keep it together. So it just what it was supposed to be, it just kind of fell. They like substituted Nash they substituted Brett with Scott Steiner. Scott Hall was there. And then by February, Scott Hall's gone. So now they just have it as a name. It's not really a thing. Right. And Jeff Jarrett becomes the face of it because everybody who was supposed to be the face of it is gone.
Right.
So when everybody say, oh, he should have never been the lead, he wasn't supposed to be. He was the U.S. champion. Well,
like I say, during that time, I had really backed away from it. I wasn't even watching it at the time.
Yeah.
Those NWO
it just gets a bad rep because it was people labeled it NWO 2000. It's not really bad. It's just it just didn't go the way it was supposed to. They lost too much too fast. Well, you lost the writer behind it.
Right.
You lost their main opponent. You lost the leader. Nash was gone, and then when Nash came back, Hall was sent home. It was no longer in the company.
Well, after this show, I'm going to go and do my research and look at the NWO 2000, see what I missed.
Listen, you have to know like the backstory behind it and understand why it's going this way. Because after a while, they're just NWO because they didn't officially disband it.
All right, so bonus question that came up, and then I said I asked this question before I get to my next question. Bonus question, here we go. If you had to choose right now, you only could be a one, can't go both. Which side are you choosing? NWO black and white, NWO red and black?
Red and black.
Oh, come on.
Red and black.
I'm representing, I'm black and white all day.
Listen, Kevin Nash is my guy. Big Sexy, that's my guy. He made it cool. And then they got the Militia Bird music and Jimmy Hardit, so they couldn't really do nothing. Listen, Wolfpack.
Black and white for me, y'all. And if you're looking at the screen, this is the actual formation of NWO right here. This is the night that it all went down. All right, Chantiese. Your favorite NWO match.
Favorite NWO match. I guess it has to be Bash at the Beach 96.
And you know what? Let's skip to that. Because my next question was, I was going to ask you, did you see the Bash at the Beach? But you actually watching it when it was going down?
I wasn't watching it when it was going down. Like, I was very young. Okay. But I've seen it multiple times since. I've seen, like, clips of it shortly after because, afterwards they showed it on Nitro all the time.
Okay. So my favorite match of all time was the Bash at the Beach matches. Well, I couldn't pinpoint another match, so I'm going to go with that. But, all right, so I'm going to switch the question up.
That's like the only match that went perfect.
Right. It was just near perfection of how they did that.
Everything that they wanted out of that match, they got it. Every other match was just like, wait a second.
Yeah.
They have so much. Why are they losing?
All right, so Chantiese, tell me this then.
Okay.
You said that you wasn't actually watching it, but you saw like the replays. What was your reaction when you first saw the replay of this right here on the screen?
It didn't hit me because, like I said, I was very young and I didn't like Hogan.
Okay.
So I was just like, I mean, why he down with them? And it took my brother to explain that they was like both from Vince, so that's why I was like, oh, okay. Because like I said, I was about 6'7" when this happened. So like I didn't understand why it was a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
So as an adult, it's major, especially knowing that he was the good guy and he's always been the good guy, and this is like he's never been Hill. So I understand it now, but when I seen it when I was young, it was just like, oh, okay, whatever, Hogan.
I thought this would be a good question. Here we go. I asked you, who would you be rid of, and then who would you like to see join the NWO?
Mm-hmm.
Now, only one wrestler, can't be 5. Who is that one, the one person in NWO you like the most? Your favorite NWO member?
I'm gonna exclude Hall and Nash because it's a bias with them that I can't pick over.
Okay, cool.
Scott Steiner.
Big Papa Pump.
Yeah.
And you know what? You know what? And I tell you what though, that character right there, when he became Big Papa Pump, oh man, I love that. I love that right there. I like that.
Him and Buff benefited the most from the NWO.
Right. Buff and I'm the stuff. That's my man, Buff.
Yep.
So I guess I'll be biased too, because I was going to say Scott Hall, especially when he used to say that survey time.
Yeah.
Oh man,
it's like, it'll make us super generic if we choose between these two.
So I'll give you another one then. People ain't going. Y'all ain't ready for this one. Scott Norton. Scott Norton. NWO. Yeah, I like the Scott.
Like I said, he was the other half of Vicious and Delicious. You can't. Scott did nothing, but he was the powerhouse.
Right. Play that enforcer role. So yeah, I would go with Scott Norton. Man, Chantiese, we moving along, man. I'm loving all this. I'm loving it. So we are at the portion of the show where it's called Rapid Fire with Chantiese. I always like to do Rapid Fire. And so I'm gonna name one NWO member. And all you gotta do is give me 1 to 3 words to describe the NWO member. Ready? Here we go. You ready?
How many words? I'm ready.
Well, I was gonna say 1, but if you want to say, because I know maybe 2 words you may want to say. So 1 to 3, but if you stick to 1, let's do 1. 1 word to describe these NWO members. You ready?
No problem.
All right. Eric Bischoff.
Waste.
Oh. Okay. Scott Hall.
Unused potential.
Kevin Nash.
Unmotivated.
Good stuff right there. Big Papa Pump.
Love him.
Scott Norton.
Vicious.
X-Pac.
Little buddy.
Buff Bagwell.
The stuff.
Vincent, a.k.a. Virgil.
Can I use no words?
Last but not least, Hollywood Hogan.
Overbearing.
All right, so let me see if I can do this. I'm gonna try to stick with 1 word. Here we go. Eric Bischoff. Brains.
Yeah.
Scott Hall. Cool. Kevin Nash. Enforcer. Big Papa Pump. The man.
Yes.
Scott Norton, Bodyguard. X-Pac. I was gonna say cool.
Little buddy.
Yeah, I'm gonna say little bro. Buff Bagwell. I just gotta go with Buff, and he's the stuff.
Exactly.
Vincent, aka Virgil, my uncle.
Listen, I wanted to like him so much. He has forsaken me. Hulk Hogan.
Icon. The Hollywood Hogan character, you gotta say that was a Grammy Award winning act.
My thing is, because I never really liked Hogan, I never really cared. And as I got older, all the stuff I learned about Hogan kind of like boosted up my not caring. It's like, see, look, I have reason not to like him.
Man, Chantiese, you know, I could be on here for another 30, 40 minutes, maybe an hour with you, but we actually rolling to the end of the portion of the show. Let me just say this again. Thank you so much for giving this opportunity. What you guys don't know is myself and the First Lady of NWO, Chantiese, we are in this NWO group. And so I met her. You know, I thought it would be a great idea if I bring her on. We talked some NWO wrestling. She agreed. Now we're here today, so I hope y'all enjoy this video when it comes out. Chantiese, we got this part of the show. I always do. I call it the last words. Knocking this out the park, right? It's your last words. It's your outgoing message. It could be about NWO. It could be about anything.
So let's keep it NWO themed. I think a lot of people look at the NWO and see like, oh, it's too many people, or oh, it's too much of this, and no, they really didn't. The NWO changed wrestling. Regardless of how it went out, regardless of how long they kept dragging it, right. Wrestling, as we have it today, is because of what Eric Bischoff came up with when he hired Kevin Nash and Scott Hall and added Hulk Hogan. Regardless of how we feel about them, because Lord knows how I feel about Easy and Hogan.
Right.
They changed the wrestling business. Hogan multiple times over. So regardless to how it went or how it could have been, what we have in wrestling today is all because of those four men.
That was beautiful right there, First Lady. So I'm going to stick to the NWO theme as well. I'm going to say my last words. NWO, just to tweet. And I always got to end off with this personal message for everybody out there. This is non-wrestling related. No matter what you're doing out there, no matter what you're doing, believe in yourself and never give up. Never give up. Never give up. First Lady, first and foremost, I know you got some things you do as well. I definitely want to be a guest on your show or your podcast. So please.
Definitely. We'll work that in sometime soon.
Definitely. Please invite me on. I definitely want to show you some support. Would you come back to my show so we can talk more wrestling?
Listen, me coming back to your show is easier than you be getting you on my show.
Hey, so
yeah, I do it with someone. So we got to talk and schedule things out. Me and you want to come on my show? Yes. I'll be here Tuesday.
Cool. So as soon as we finish this video, we're gonna set something up. We're gonna get something.
No problem.
So y'all gonna see the First Lady, beautiful Chantiese. It's gonna come back. Oh man! Once again, thank y'all so much for showing love and support. Please subscribe to Cool Rob TV, all caps. Leave comments, like, dislike, engage with me. We always looking for new people to come on the show. Don't forget to subscribe to Movie Hood TV. Like I always say every video, these dudes help me out behind the scenes, so please go to their channel and show them some love as well. Chantiese, do you have any pages or any places where people can subscribe and look you up?
Well, my Facebook is Chantiese Bullock. You can add me there. My Instagram and Twitter is Harts, HAHRTS. Every Tuesday, sometimes Thursdays, I do a little live stream show on Facebook, Talk of Champions. That is our Facebook, that is our Instagram, and at Talk of Champs is our Twitter. Follow us, search for us there. It's pretty fun. It's like interactive, so it's live. So we interact with the comments and do stuff like that. We're still trying to figure out what we're doing this Tuesday. Last Tuesday, we talked Death at WCW. So the week before, we talked Bash at the Beaches.
I wish I had met you before that because I would have got on there and talked about some Death at WCW. So please, next time you get on, next time you put something together, invite me. And if you want to find me, you can find me on Facebook as just Robert Matthews. And maybe change my name from Cool Rob to Robert Matthews. I don't know why, but I'm Robert Matthews. So you can find me at Robert Matthews. But most importantly, you can subscribe to Cool Rob TV. You know how the YouTube world is, y'all. You're only as good as your views and your subscribers. So please subscribe, and subscribe. So for the first lady of wrestling, Chantiese, and for Cool Rob, I always end off every show with Cool Rob is in the building. Over and out. I got this new thing I do. I throw the paper. Over and out, y'all. Thank y'all so much. We love you. Bye-bye. 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 Because when you NWO.
NWO.
See y'all next time, y'all.